The ocean, the Eiffel Tower, golfing, boating, Beanie Babies. Hi, I'm Jenny. It seems like everyone is collecting Beanie Babies. In 1993, a company called TY released their first 9 beanies. Each year, more have been introduced, and once they retire, their value has so far increased as collectors create a strong demand. Other companies like Coca-Cola, Disney, Denny's, and others have jumped aboard the Beanie Mania. TY Beanie Babies can be found in thousands of retail stores, and retired beanies are sold in secondary markets such as in beanie magazines, on the internet, beanie conventions, and special swap meet shows held in almost every city. There are so many people who love and collect beanies. I've been able to meet many collectors who share our interests and who are kind enough to spend time with us. So let's get started and learn more.
I was not going to collect these for my daughter. I told her, no, we're not going to do that. And because there was the lines at the stores and all that kind of thing. And we ended up going to look for some for a friend. And I'm not the only one that's done that, but a lot of people, they go to look for them for friends and they suddenly start buying them and they just get addicted. It's some type of crazy addiction. They should have a Beanie Anonymous clubs, you know, like Alcoholics Anonymous. It's except that it's not bad for you.
We're collecting Beanie Babies at this point. Truly we're gonna try to get all of them. It's going to be a challenge to do that. We read a lot in the paper about the Beanie Baby swap meets and in the want-ads, people who are selling their Beanie Babies. I have my connections at different stores. When the new Beanie Babies come out or the new shipment comes in, I'll get some phone calls and people will let me know that the new ones are in. Then I hear about other people who have a stash and are selling them for good prices and so forth. So what I want to do eventually is, over time, get a lot more of the retired ones and certainly get all the new ones that are coming out, and then hold on to them for as long as possible, and then as time goes on, start doing some selling and make some money off them. I had no clue when I started this that there was going to be money in it. And there's some we have that are doubles that I don't mind parting with one of them, and so I'm kind of going to see what happens in the future and hopefully make a little bit of money on it.
There's a lot of other Beanie Baby type things going on. We have the Meanie Beanies, we have the Coca-Cola Beanies, we have the Harley Beanies, we have the plush Beanies. I mean, everybody's getting in on the market on the beanies, and a lot of things are really high. We have the Grateful Dead Beanies. Everybody wants to get in on it and jump on the market while they can, while it's booming. And the thing about the other bears is I think it brings a little bit more added diversity to the show, if not just Beanie Babies. I know a lot of Beanie Baby shows you go to, you get cards, you get all the other stuff. And here we just have Beanie Babies and the Grateful Dead and the Meanie Beanies, which are all just bean-filled babies, and their supply and demand, just like I said, makes them worth more or makes them worth less. And from what I've seen on the market, the Coca-Cola and the Grateful Dead are starting to move just like the Thai Beanies. They're in supply and demand. They're retiring, they're bringing out new. And that's the whole name of the game, is retiring and bringing out new, so people keep interested in the game. And I think Thai does a really good job of that, and a lot of the other companies are starting to follow that.
I love beanies. They're very collectible, they're cute, there's a lot of styles. And then I collected a lot of the ones that I liked. Oh, let's just get another one of these. Oh, this is cute. This is cute. And then by the time you walk out, you come out with 25 you already have. And then you go to another store a month later, and you may have come out with 10, which you already got the time before. So now you've got pairs and triplets. And then when they retire, oh, you start trading them. Well, you know, if you want an older retired, someone's looking for this, you trade. If they're like Disney beanies, you trade, and it becomes kind of an obsession. See, I love Disney, Barbies. I mean, I can't say Hot Wheels, but, you know, I'm a kid myself, and so I can relate to a lot of this kind of stuff. I mean, get me in a Warner Brothers store, a Disney store, going to Disney World. I mean, it's the fascination of toys.
Okay, so adults are really into this, but let's don't forget that kids like them too.
These are some of the Beanie Babies my mommy bought me. Hissy, Tuffy, Ringo, Stinky, Nanook, Sly, Snort, Stripes, Fleece, Mel, Scoop, Inch, Strep, Congo, and Iggy, Laddie the platypus, Puffer, Chocolate, Platy the Bow, Platy the platypus, Happy, Seaweed, Happy, Nuts.
We have traveled all the way to Maine to meet a very serious Beanie Baby collector, Carrie Burns. How are you, Carrie?
I'm good. How are you, Jenny?
I'm good. Would you mind showing us the different categories of your Beanie Babies?
Sure. In this semicircle are all my valuable Beanie Babies. That includes Curly, Cubby, Valentino, Blackie, Aaron, 97 Teddy, Peace, another Peace, Peace with pastel colors, Magic, Ants, Blue Jay, Rocket, Sting, Waves, Scotty, Echo, Mystic, Spooky, Snowball, Goldie, Lizzie, Allie, Legs, and Speedy.
Thank you, Carrie. That was great. So, what do you enjoy about collecting Beanie Babies?
I enjoy collecting Beanie Babies because they're good to have when you're older because they'll be more valuable. And I also think that they're cute.
So, Carrie, are there any other Beanie Babies that you would like to add to your collection?
Yes, I'd like to add Maple, Britannia, and Princess.
Why those three?
Because Maple is white and has a Canadian flag on her and is worth a lot. Britannia is an orangish-brownish color with a British flag on her chest. And Princess is a dark purple bear in memory of Princess Diana, which has a white rose on her chest and is very, very valuable too.
Thank you, Carrie. Here's Kelly explaining her Beanie Baby collection.
Some people like the bears. There's a large market for bears. Like with the Princess Diana beanie, the purple beanie, I mean, that's noteworthy because of Princess Diana. They have bears for special occasions. The 1997 Teddy, like in any market, there's a collectible. If anything's dated, that's very, very popular the next year. Chances are it's going to be worth a lot more money than it is right now, between $30 to $50. Aaron is a shamrock bear, and that is for St. Patty's Day. There was a Garcia without the patch. This is Peace, came out after. Some people are mystical. There's Magic. There's Tank, which is for boys primarily. There's a Canadian beanie that's sold only in Canada. People bring them over from Canada to here. Always at that one was always at a secondary price. You couldn't touch that for under $80 at any time. Some of these, like Gren has retired. Seymour's about $160. Gren's between $130 and $160. Coral is the first tie-dyed fish. Then came Bubbles. Kiwi's an older retired. January, I think, retired. These three are all the cats, which are retired. This is a holiday beanie, just like the 1997 Teddy, which was over there. And that, of course, retired within 3 months. So it was only out 3 months. It's going to be worth more money because it's a limited supply. Here's Goldie. Here, this is a third fish. This is a first owl. Anything that's a first. Any, like, you know, the first type of Barbie in a series is always worth more. Between 30 and 50, depending on the area. Spots around 50. Ziggy just retired. The recent retireds, you know, aren't going to jump. There's maybe 1 in 10 that do. Legs, Velvet retired, last retirement. He hasn't yet skyrocketed, but more people are now looking for him.
That was very interesting, Kelly. Current Beanie Babies can be bought in a store near you. After a Beanie Baby retires, it can increase in value and be bought or sold in what is called the secondary market. Here is Bob to explain.
The secondary market, we could talk about that. I think that's where you have the people that are willing to pay the money not to stand in line. You go to get your new beanies, the new releases. They come out with 10 or 12 every 6 months. You stand in line for 3 or 4 hours and waiting to pay $5 for your beanie when you could come to a show like this and buy your beanie that you want, that you don't have to wait in line for just a couple dollars more. And that's the difference between the regular market and the secondary market. We can ask whatever we want on the prices of the beanies. And what we do is we take the time out of standing in line and waiting for a beanie. And basically you can come here and pick anything you want, from the new ones to the latest retireds to the brand new ones that just come out 3 months ago. And when the new ones come out in 3 months again and they retire the ones that they're going to retire, they'll all be here and you'll be able to find them here. And this is probably the only place you couldn't find them is at a secondary show.
Thank you, Bob. Now here's Frank to show us how these collectibles can rise in value.
Well, up to now the appreciation has been quite spectacular. It's not likely that it can continue at that pace, but over time our expectation is that there will be appreciation. Part of the reason is there are so many millions and millions of people involved in this business. I don't know how many people are aware of it, but McDonald's, in their recent promotion, gave away 225 million of their teeny beanies. And in the one the year before, which was supposed to be such a spectacular success, they gave away 100 million. So we look at 225 million teeny beanies, and you figure there are a lot of new collectors in there, millions of new collectors. And we see there's a whole new generation of collectors now. The people that we were selling to in December and January and February of this year mostly have completed their collections, but there are lots of new collectors, mostly at the lower and intermediate levels, not too many who are looking. We have the Royal Blue Peanut here for $5,500. We don't have too many people who are in that market as yet. But we did sell one of these. We sold a Teddy last week for $2,500, a cranberry old-faced Teddy. So there is still a market, but we would say these days the majority of the people are looking for the more recent retired ones. There are not as many people today spending $2,000 and $3,000 on a single beanie as there were a few months ago. We think that's because the new generation will take some time to work their way up to that level.
I don't know. I don't think it's just the collectability. I think there's some type of just total attraction to them. First off, I think one of the main attractions is that they can get them so inexpensively, and then later they have the opportunity to go up in value so much. And I don't know, some people say it's in the beans. There's some kind of addictive thing in the beans. But I'm not sure about that. So,
Are you ready to learn about many of the popular Beanie Babies? Here's Jessica to share some of her knowledge with us.
Hi, my name's Jessica, and over the past couple of years I've collected Beanie Babies, and I'd like to give you some of my advice on them. Okay, this is Jake the duck, and this is Fetch the golden retriever, and this is Early the robin, and Stinger the stingray, and they all just came out. They're brand new, the 14 new. And this one's Peace, and Peace and Garcia are exactly the same except the little peace sign, and Peace is only worth like $25, and Garcia is worth about $200 just for that little sign. And this one is Mystic, and Mystic, there's two editions of it. There's one with the tan horn, which is worth around $40, and there's one with the iridescent horn. And I personally think the iridescent horn's cuter. It like has more color, but the tan horn's worth more. And then this one's Patty. He's a platypus, and he's worth around $40. But there's another one where he's a darker color, like a maroon color, and he's worth probably $2,400 just for the different color. And then these are the Christmas editions. There's Snowball, the snowman, and that's Spooky. And Sparky, there's a dog just like it named Dottie, and the only difference is the ears. On Dottie, the ears are black, and on Sparky, they're white ears. And the difference in price is about $160. This one's probably between $170 and $180. And this is Goldie. Goldie, also, there's also Bubbles and Coral, which are all fish. And fish, for some reason, are really popular. A lot of people like the fish. And then there's Fetch is one of the new dogs, and Gigi is one of the new dogs. Gigi is a black poodle, and Fetch is a golden retriever. There's about 15 dogs that Ty made, and these are the two newest. Then there's the bears. Everyone loves the bears. There's Valentino. Valentino's, right now, he's only worth about $20, but after he retires, he'll go up. He's like a Valentine bear. And then there's Curly, and Curly's the only bear with napped hair. He's not soft. His texture is like napped. He's popular too. A lot of people like him. Right now, his price is only about $15, but after a while, he'll go up too. This is also a new one. This is Wise the owl, and he's a graduation owl. He's class of '98, and Ty's never done that before for a class, so he's like a graduation owl for anyone that graduated in '98. He's real popular. And there's Christmas Teddy. We already talked about that one. Then this one's Princess. I'm sorry, Princess Di from Princess Di, and she's real popular. A lot of people like her. There's two editions of Princess, and there's PVC and PE. The PVC was made first, the PE was made second, and on the tush tag on the last line on the back, it will say PE pellets or PVC, and it's just the size of the pellets inside, but a lot of people want the PVC because it's worth more, because that one was made first. And this one's Doodle. There's another edition of Doodle that looks exactly the same, but his name's Strut, and he's a lot cheaper. Doodle's about $160, and Strut's about $12. And then there's Bessie, and he's a cow, or she's a cow, I guess. And there's another cow just like it, and its name's Daisy. They're about the same thing, except Daisy's black and white. She just retired. She's worth about $60, $70. And then this is Manny, and he's a manatee. He's real popular too. He's retired. He's worth probably around $160, $170. A lot of kids like him too. Seymour, this is the seal. He's real popular too. He's also retired. He's worth about $160. And then there's Tank, and he's an armadillo. And there's 3 editions of Tank made. The first edition had 9 lines right here, and it didn't have the shell. The second edition didn't have the shell, but had all the lines. And this is the third edition. The third edition has the shell and all of the lines. And then this is Radar. There's 2 radars. There's one with the creased wing like this, and there's one with the straight wing. And Radar has a cousin, and his name's Batty. He's also a bat, and he's tan. And this is Spot. This is Spot with 1 spot. There's the spot with 1 spot, and there's a spot with no spots. The spot with no spots is worth a lot more, but this one's about $160. It's retired too. And then there's Digger, and he's a red crab. There's Digger the red crab, and there's Digger the orange crab. The orange crab's worth about $2,400, and just the regular red one's worth about $150. And then there's Allie the alligator. He's retired. He's worth about $60 right now. And this is Tusk, and he's retired. He's about $160. There's only 1 edition of Tusk made. And then this is one of the fish, and this is Bubbles, one of the fish, like the 3 fish. There's Goldie, Bubbles, and Coral. This is Bubbles. This is Splash. Splash has a brother named Flash, but I don't have Flash, and he's a whale, and they go together. There's also another set of these, and they're called Waves and Echo, but when Ty made Waves and Echo, a lot of the tags got mixed up, so on Waves and Echo, the tags are messed up. This is Glory. Glory's a new bear. He's supposed to be a 4th of July bear. He's got the American flag and the stars. He's really, really popular. A lot of people like him because of the flag and because of the stars. And if you notice, any of them with any kind of flag, Britannia, Maple, Glory, Liberty, Lefty, Righty, their prices go up in value like $300. They're like one of the most popular bears. Then there's Aaron. Aaron's a St. Patrick's Day. Aaron goes anywhere from $40 to $200. When Aaron retires, its price will go up a lot too. The bears' prices always go up no matter what kind of bear they are. Once they retire, the prices go up a lot and they're really hard to get. These ones are basically the commons. There's Puffer the Puffin, Stinky the Skunk. They're all basically commons. This is, hey, get off. This is Congo, and he has a brother named Bongo. And this is Batty. Batty is cousins of Radar the Bat. And as you can see, Batty's like a pinkish tannish color. And these three bunnies are really popular. These are all friends. They're best friends. They love each other. Hoppity, Hippity, and Floppity. And they're bunnies, and they are all together. They are like a set, the three of them. And then these two, Bongo and Congo, they're cousins. And this is Freckles. Freckles is a leopard. And I like this one. This is Smoochie the frog. He's like Legs the frog, but Smoochie has yellow right there, and Legs is all green. And then this is Blackie. There's Blackie, and Blackie is a bear, but he lays down. And there's only 2 bears that lay down. Blackie's one of them. This is Fleece the lamb. There's 2 lambs. There's Fleece and there's Chops. Chops worth about $200, but Fleece is a common. He's only about $20. Then there's the dogs. This is Tuffy. It's a terrier. There's 3 terriers. There's Scotty, Tuffy, and Bruno. They all go together. And then this is Wrinkles. He's got a little wrinkly face. And that's Nanook. And this one is Bernie. And then this one right here is Bruno. This is Bessie. Bessie's the cow, or this is Daisy, like Bessie the cow, except Bessie is worth about $70, and this one's only worth about $10, $20, and Bessie's brown. This is Rory the lion. These cats, they're all friends too. They all go together. This one's my favorite one because he looks just like my cat. I love him. This is my favorite one. And there's Prance, Pants, Snip, and Snip is also the cousins of Flip, Nip, and Zip. And this one is Chip. It also goes with Flip, Zip, and Nip. And these 2 are the only cats ever made that their names don't rhyme. But these 2 go with Nip, Zip, and Flip. And then there's Sly the fox. There's another fox with a brown tummy, and he's worth about $200 more than this one. And then there's Pouch the kangaroo, and he's got a little baby kangaroo in his pouch. And then this is Mystic. Mystic also has a tan horn. This is the iridescent one that I liked better. I think it gives it more color. I think it's a lot cuter. This is Mel. He's a koala. This is Quackers. There's 2 Quackers. There's Quackers with the wings, which is a common. There's Quackers without the wings. And the Quackers without the wings worth about $3,500. And this is Chocolate the moose. And then this one is Snort the bull. There's also Tabasco, but Tabasco's red right there, red right there, red right there. And that his ears are red, but they're pretty much the same thing. And this one is Scoop. He's a pelican. And, oh, this is Jolly. He is a walrus. And this one is Spike. And then up to these ones. This is Gracie. She's a swan. And this is Crunch. And this one's Strut. It's the same exact as Doodle, except the name changed because they had to change it. This one right here, this is my favorite beanie in the whole wide world because it's pink, and pink is my favorite color. And its name's Pinky. and it's my favorite one. And this snake is not wanting to come off. This is Hissy the snake. Hissy's 2 feet long, the same as Slither the snake. There's also a snake called Slither, but Slither's head's black. But if you measure them, they're the same. They're 2 feet long, which makes them authentic. And then this is Spinner. He's a spider. There's also Web the spider, and Web's worth about $3,000 when this one's only worth about $20. And then there's Claude the crab, and there's Rainbow and Iggy. Rainbow and Iggy's tags got changed. This is supposed to be Iggy, but the tags on it say Rainbow and Iggy. They got changed. There's Rainbow with the tongue and without the tongue.
So Carrie, why are the TY tags that come on every Beanie Baby so important?
They're called swing tags, and if you take them off, it depends on how valuable they are. It can reduce the value by 10 to 50% of the Beanie Baby. Each swing tag has their name, the time they were born, and a poem. For instance, Ants. It says, Ants, date of birth, November 7th, 1997. And here's its poem. Most anteaters love to eat bugs, but this little fellow gives big hugs. He'd rather dine on apple pie than eat an ant or harm a fly. And here is the tush tag, which says the company that makes it, TY, and says its name and where it was made.
Thank you, Jessica and Carrie. Now here's Frank to explain other related products.
Most of the publicity, and indeed most of the sales, have been on the Thai Beanie Babies. But we have, in fact, my wife Tony, this is her business, Tony's Collectibles, was one of the first people to recognize that this is a broader phenomenon. It goes beyond the Thai Beanie Babies. So we have, from December of last year, been carrying the Disney mini beanbags, which are, these are the ones up here. These are the Disney mini beanbags. And some of these, they haven't gone into the thousands for the most part. You see the Easter Pooh is quite rare. He's at 150, and the Valentine Pooh at 125. Just last week, we sold a Chinese New Year Mickey and Minnie, which was only released in Hong Kong. And we sold the set of the two for $1,500. And we received them on a Friday and sold them on a Saturday. That's how fast they moved. That's the most valuable Disney. There's also another one here. This is the Tree Frog Soul, which is the second most valuable Disney that we've had. But besides the Thai and the Disney, the Thai Beanies and the Disneys, we have also added collectibles. These are from Thai, but a different series, which they actually started making, I believe, before they were making the Beanie Babies. Over there you see Thai plushes and pillow cows, and these also retire. The Attic collectibles and these plushes retire. They don't have anything like the value of the Beanie Babies, but these are very popular, and we find that there's interest. These ones you see before you are Precious Moments. This is not Thai. This is another manufacturer, another series, which is quite popular. This one is a Boyd bear, and down at the other end we have Grateful Dead bears. So we have one of the most diverse collections. I think most of the vendors you'll see at these shows are only handling Beanie Babies or maybe now Beanies and Disneys. But we try to have a more diverse collection. This is another more interesting Disney products. This is the Safari set from Animal Kingdom. What they did was, during each of the first 9 weeks of the Animal Kingdom, after they opened, they released one of these. So there's a total of 9. They were sold only for those 9 weeks and not anymore. So that's why this is a little bit more expensive than the typical ones which are released through the Disney stores. We sell the set for $325, and we sell them individually for $40 a piece.
These are also beanies, but they're not made by Thai. They're called Silly Slammers, and they talk. They all say different things. And I think the funnest part is when you throw up about 5 and they all sing at the same time. And then they all make different noises. A lot of them do the music, And then Disney beanies. Everyone loves Disney. These aren't made by Ty either, but there's Piglet from Winnie the Pooh. Of course, everyone loves Winnie the Pooh. And then there's Sebastian. He's from Little Mermaid, the crab. And then there's the dogs from 101 Dalmatian. This one right here is Jewel. And there's Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh. And there's two Eeyores. This one has the horns on it. It's a Christmas Eeyore. The other one doesn't have the horns on it. And then there's Flounder from Little Mermaid. And of course, there's Minnie. Minnie is really popular. There's Mickey and Minnie, and they are all stuffed with beans. And Disney beanies are also really popular. They're really hard to get a hold of. They have them in Disney World at the Disney store and at Disneyland at the Disney store. Those are the best places to get a hold of them. If you pay for a secondary market, they increase the value by like $100.
Another neat thing about Ty beanies is that they got involved with McDonald's and the Happy Meal promotions. Last year, people didn't take Ty beanies very seriously, and so a lot of them got opened up and played with and damaged. And so the sets that remained are highly valuable now, especially since they came out with and did a second run. This here's the promotional piece that went inside the restaurants for this year's McDonald's set. There was a major frenzy with these guys. There was lines half an hour, 45 minutes long just to get one or two. The teeny beanies are really cute because they're little miniature versions of their full-size mama beanies. Lots of people refer to them as the mamas and the teenies. And so here we have the whole collection from 1998, starting with Waddles, an Inch, Mel, Bongo, Pinchers, Peanut, Bones, Zip, Scoop, Happy, Dobie, and Twigs. And currently Bongo seems to be the most popular. He's selling at about $15 for an individual piece.
Well, my daughter, for instance, she's 11, and I will often refer to her for pricing on older beanies and what's really popular right now, because she studies the magazines. There's all kinds of magazines out now, the collectible magazines, the beanie magazines, and there's websites, so kids are always on the website checking out prices and all that kind of thing. And it's actually a really good thing for kids, I think, because they're always they're doing math. You know, it's almost like playing the stock market for them. They check the daily prices of beanies and what they're going for today and what their collection's worth, and they keep an inventory of their collection. My kids do, and they put value on them, and they save their allowance and they spend them. So, kids, and most of the kids that come to my table know what every one of them are. They have them all the names memorized, and there's 65 different current styles right now, and that's a lot to memorize. So, kids are funny. It's one more thing for them to learn with.
So, Carrie, what do you say we see how familiar we are with the names of your Beanie Baby collection?
Sure, Jenny, go ahead.
This is the cat collection. Freckles, Blizzard, Velvet, Stripes, Prance, Zip, Chip, Snip, Pounce, and Nip.
This is the dog collection. There's Bernie, Nanook, Tuffy, Dobie, Rover, Weenie, Pugsley, Bruno, Wrinkles, Bones, Nanook, Spunky, and Sparky.
This is the bird collection. Gracie, Strut, Scoop, Quackers, Puffer, Pinky, Gobbles, Batty, and Baldy.
This is the farm animal collection. There's Daisy, Fleece, Squealer, Derby, and Stinky.
This is the safari collection. Congo, Bongo, Snort, Patty, Rory, Twigs, Stretch, Happy, Ziggy, Peanut, Pouch, and Spike.
This is the insect collection. There's Spinner, Inch, and Lucky.
These are the forest animals. Nuts, Ringo, Chocolate, Mel, and Sly.
These are the reptile collection. There's Hissy, Iggy, Rainbow, and Smoochie.
This is the aquatic collection. Crunch, Seaweed, Jolly, Waddle, Inky, Pinchers, and Claude.
This is the Teeny Beanie collection. There's Waddle, Pinky, Mel, Inch, Lizzie, Twigs, Happy, Pinchers, Quackers, Speedy, Chocolate, and Snort.
It's been interesting, the places that you can find Beanie Babies. It's pretty much anywhere and everywhere. The challenge is to never guess that a certain store doesn't carry Beanie Babies, because just about everybody does these days. I remember one time I was at the airport in Sacramento and they had a big basket of Beanie Babies, and I had just about all of them, and I noticed Blizzard was at the bottom, and these were for, I think it was $6.99 each. So I remember taking Blizzard with me to the cash register, and then I thought, wait, I don't know if I have Blizzard because I didn't have my list with me. So I put Blizzard back. I got home and I looked at the list and we didn't have Blizzard, and I was very upset. Well, thankfully I travel a lot, so I was able to go to the airport again a couple days later. Even though Blizzard was gone, I managed to get it later. Now I travel with a Beanie Baby list in my purse. I'd go nowhere without it. I've looked for Beanie Babies in states across the country. In Nebraska, I just went to Idaho. I bought a ton in Chicago. Where else? Boston, Florida, really everywhere and anywhere.
The popularity of beanies has started a new weekend activity, beanie shows and swap meets. Here's Bob to discuss his show.
I do shows every weekend. Every weekend I travel from Arizona to Washington to Oregon, and I put on a show, my own show, Bob's Beanie Baby Expo, once a month at the Country Club Plaza. And this is it. It's a lot of work. You put out a lot of signs. You get a lot of vendors in here from all over. I've had vendors from Washington, Canada, Chicago fly in just to do my show because it's such a good market. And all the people that you see in this room right now were from advertising of flyers. I do paper. I go out and meet my people one-on-one, hand out flyers, get people come in, posters up. The whole idea of the show is to get these people that are buying the $5, $6 beanie at the market, the Hallmark, the basic store, and come in here and buying the older stuff, the retired, the hard to find, stuff you can't get every day. The lefties, the liberties, all that good stuff like that. And that's where all these people are here for. The commons they can get all the time, the hard ones they're here to get.
Well, I just think it's a really exciting possibility of what might be, what the value might be in the future, and what is it that you have that's going to be the next Garcia, or making sure that you have, before the next retirement, making sure that you have everything. And I've never quite seen a following on anything else like we have on the Beanie Babies. A lot of people say they're going to come and go, and that it's not an investment at all. I kind of think the opposite. I've never seen groups of people come together like our type of people come together on anything. Cabbage Patch came and went, but there was never a following like this. And it's just exciting. It's a challenge and it's a game, and there's a great group of people that you meet, and even if the investment doesn't pay out, it's been a lot of fun.
Hi, my name is Chris Beltzner. I'm a senior biochemistry major at UC Davis, and since I didn't really have anything else to do for the summer, me and my mom got together, decided we'd make an investment in Thai Beanie Babies and see what we could do. Here we have the long-standing favorite bears. Everybody seems to love the bears, and especially the little peace bears. See several people spend 20 and 30 minutes just picking out whatever they think is the most beautiful peace bear they've ever seen. We have several older retireds. My personal favorite is Kiwi, the toucan. I have 5 birds at home, so I'm especially partial to some of the birds. And I'm really happy to see that they've come out with some brand new birds. Here's Cuckoo. There's your inexpensive common currants that start around $5 and $6. And you get up into your recent retireds that are 15 to 20. And you can get all the way up into the very expensive guys that top out at about $2,000 or so per piece. This here is a magenta old-faced teddy bear. Teddy bears are highly popular in America. There's one of the most popular collectibles. And what happened is they made very few of these guys. They weren't really popular when they were first produced, and so they changed them and retired them. And then all of a sudden the beanie market took off, and so the demand skyrocketed and the supply was really low, and so the price also skyrocketed. This particular bear was purchased for $5 at a store in Davis for 2 young children as a stocking stuffer, and neither one of them really cared for it, and so it just got stuck in the attic with the rest of the Christmas stuff. And a friend of mine found out that these guys were worth a lot of money, so she asked me if I would go ahead and sell it for her so that her and her husband could take off on a vacation. It's just market, you know, what the market says things are worth. With the swing tag, this is worth about $1,800. Since the tag is missing, it's worth about $900 in this condition. This here's Lefty, and he's the Democratic donkey. He was initially unveiled at the Democratic National Convention, and because of his American flag, he's got some cross-collectability. People that are into Democratic Party items and are very patriotic people like to have special things like this, and so he carries a little higher price tag at about $275 than some of the other beanies in the same area as him. Another real popular beanie is the Maple Bear, and these guys are really highly desirable because they're only available in Canada, and those nasty Canadian border control, they're really tight on these guys. I've heard families go up to Canada to get their kids Maple Bears, and when they try to come back into the United States with them, the Canadian Border Patrol won't allow them to bring them into the U.S. And so that keeps Maple really hard to find, and it keeps his price up there. Even though he's a current bear, he's still worth about $250. One of the greatest things about Beanie Babies is it knows no age boundaries. You get little children that start their collections at 4 and 5 years old. They might get a white tiger because they think it's real pretty, and then they move up to an old horn mystic because it's real neat too. And you get grandmothers that just think that ears is absolutely adorable and they can't live without it. And then you get other people that want to collect just the cats, and so they get Velvet, and they get Snip and Pounce. And then you get people that are really into the value of things, that back when you could get Inky for $5 or $6 at the retail store, they didn't like it, they didn't want to get it. But now that he's retired and he's worth $25 or $30, they just gotta have it.
So Carrie, why don't we discuss some of your favorite Beanie Babies?
Okay, this is my very most favorite. She's Magic, the dragon. Everybody likes her because of her wings and how they shine. She is all white, so it's very hard to find her in a good condition.
This is Ants the Anteater. He's one of the new released Beanie Babies along with Rocket the Blue Jay. He's very scarce along with Rocket because they were just released about a month and a half ago, and it's the big craze. Everybody wants it.
Here is Erin Bear. She is a very good one to have. She is like Princess. She's called Erin the Emerald Bear, and she has a shamrock on her chest. She is all green, and she's the St. Patrick's Bear.
Another hard-to-come-by beanie is Spooky and Snowball. They're both retired, and again, they're white, so boys who collect come in with muddy fingerprints and put them all over the beanies, so it's really hard to find them in perfect white condition.
Here is Peace. He is exactly like Garcia, except for Peace has this little peace sign on him. And you can tell if it's fake or not because a fake Peace has a patch instead of fur in the inside right about here. And the peace sign, it goes in order of color. It's red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and a purple. And they just came out with Peace, the pastel colors. So instead of a dark blue, they put a very light shade of blue. He has the same patch as Peace.
This is Legs the Frog. He's one of the original 9 Beanie Babies that they first came out with in 1993 that made Beanie Babies such a success. He's not worth as much as a lot of other Beanie Babies. I just think he's really nice because they made another one that looks almost exactly like him, Smoochie the Frog. I just think he's a really neat one to have.
Some of the ones that I like especially are the Peace the Bears. I just, here's the original, and here's the new pastel one, and we just won this a couple weekends ago. We entered a drawing for the opportunity, to purchase piece for $7, so we won it, and that was great. There's a lot of those out there too, as I'm sure a lot of you folks know, that you can get in these drawings that benefit a good charity. Ours is the local zoo gets the money, and apparently several $100s gets donated every single time. So that's terrific. Have a couple of the new ones, Rocket and Ants, and we'll be getting the rest of the collection pretty quick. Some of my favorites are Valentino. He's my son's birthday on February 14th, so he's pretty cool. And I personally like Velvet a lot. Of course, the Black Panther is a neat one. What else is kind of hard to find? I had a hard time finding Claude for a while there. He was hard to find. Oh yeah, Goldie. That's a neat one too. And what else do we have? I like Weenie. He's over here. And here is Echo the dolphin. Thank you. Here's Weenie. Weenie's cool. And what are some of the other ones? Oh, I like Magic, and I think these two are kind of like twins almost, and Mystic is one of my favorite ones too. Thank you, darling. And the three rabbits are great. And Snake, Hissy the snake. He was one of my favorites that I ever bought for my son, because I thought, oh, a little boy will like that quite a bit. And like the horses and some of the other ones that are a little more difficult to find, but they're some of the best ones. Oh yeah, Snowball and Spooky. Two, I think these are retired, and those are really difficult to find.
Thank you, Julie. Once you have a valuable collection, there are a few ways to help protect it. Here's Jessica and Bob.
People get tag protectors to protect their tags so they don't get bent or creased or anything. And there's the slide-on ones. These ones are really cheap, and I personally think they're better because they're light on the hanging tag so it doesn't rip off. And then there's these ones which a lot of people like because they're hard and they close and they lock so you can't open it, but it's really heavy. These are a lot more expensive. Then there's the Beanie Baby sleeping bags. And they're little sleeping bags. Little kids love them. And you put your little beanie guy in there, and he sleeps. And he's got a little pillow, and they come in all different colors. A lot of kids like them, so they think when they're going on a camping trip, their Beanie Baby has a sleeping bag. Don't rip off the tags. Don't let them get bent. Don't let them get creased. If you have them in a house, don't let them get dirty. Don't let anyone smoke around them. They'll smell. Start off with the common ones. Commons will retire and be expensive. All the ones that are really expensive, Garcia at one time was $8, but now it's $199. Start off with the cheaper ones, and as they retire, they'll get more expensive. Don't start off, unless if you have the money, with the really expensive ones. Get the common ones too, because they will eventually be a lot more.
People spend a lot of money on beanies, and you have to protect them. This is where I come in to play. I have different types of acrylic boxes that keeps the dust, the sun, anything nicotine from the cigarettes, keeps everything away, and plus displays all of your stuff very well. It's all mirror backed, it's all protected, UV protected, acid free. Comes with little acrylic chairs for everything to sit on, like so. We have 3 bear, 6 bear, and then we have just a majority of all different types of boxes that you can imagine. We have the interlockers that stack, rounds, squares, smaller squares, and then the all-important tag protector is where you usually have to start. You start small, 10, 20 cents, get your tag protector, put it on there, and that's where your value is. You get a creased tag, it's no good no more. You have to protect it. And that's what all this comes into play, protecting your investments, because all your Beanie Babies are investments. You spend lots of money here, from $5 to $200, $300, $400 on a beanie. You have to protect it.
The internet is a great place to research anything, including Beanie Babies. As Frank explains, you'll want to be careful.
These days, you really need to know the party that you're buying from. There's a problem of counterfeit beanies, there are problems of rip-offs, and a lot of the best prices are available on the internet. But if you rely on that, you are taking some substantial risks. So we've dodged a number of bullets and had some really close calls on the internet. One of our first purchases on the internet, going back to the end of October of last year, we sent $360 off to somebody in Alabama who sounded like he had some good pricing. You know, too good to be true, which of course in this case it was. Turned out that this was a scam. the authorities intervened, and we were told that there were two 15-year-olds, were told that they would be brought to trial, which they were in juvenile court. We were told that the money would be sent back, and then we didn't hear anything month after month. Well, just on Friday of this week, we got a call saying, your $360 has just been mailed out to you. They did work and paid off the money. We had another case where we bought a slither that turned out to be fake. In fact, we've had several cases where we bought products that turned out to be fakes. Fortunately, we knew we had enough of a relationship, at least, with the people we bought them from, that we were able to send them back. So we got our money back. We had a fake trap, a fake Peking. So you have to be very aware of all of these dangers, and the most important thing is to have a good relationship with and know something about the people you're buying from.
I think you can make a lot of mistakes in overbuying and buying. I can give you the best, for instance, in the world. You can see this is what I do for a living, and 6 months ago when Aaron first came out, I paid $180 for my Aaron, and now you can buy them for $35. It's just supply and demand, and that's what this whole business is about, is supply and demand. I have it, you want it, what's the price? That's basically the way it works for all the beanies that are in here, and basically even the boxes to work the same way. I got it, you want it. And you could overbuy and just keep buying and buying and buying, and then you have all these beanies and you don't know what to do. And a lot of these people that come here to do these secondary shows are actual collectors that have collected this whole time, and now we're trying to get rid of their stuff, and they're not really into the secondary market. They're just getting rid of their collection that they got too deep into.
Well, the story behind my own personal collection is unique to me. I think it's very special in that when my son was born in April of '97, one of my husband's clients gave us our first Thai Beanie Baby, and it was Tank, the armadillo, and it soon after retired. However, we had no idea what we had, or even that what Thai Beanie Babies were. So we held on to him for about a year, and of course, my sons played with him and swang the tag around and chewed on the tag and all that sort of stuff. And my girlfriend got into teeny beanies almost a year later, and then told us what we had, and that's kind of how we got started. So we have Tank, which of course is the most precious Beanie Baby that I could ever own, and you could not put a price tag on him for me. His tag's got teeth marks in it, and it's been played with and loved, and it's been cherished a lot, so that's really special to us. And that's what got us started, and we've just gone from there. We now have two collections, one for each of our boys, and we're hoping that someday down the road that, that'll be a valuable collection for them. But in the meantime, we're having lots of fun.
Well, Carrie, thank you very much for sharing your Beanie Baby collection with us, and I learned a lot. And thank you for letting us into your home. Thank you for coming, Jenny, and I hope everybody learned a little bit more about collecting Beanie Babies.
That's the end of our look at the world of beanies. I hope you learned a lot from everyone today, and I'd like to thank all the people who provided their time with us. Thanks for watching, and I wish you the best of luck and enjoyment with your beanie collection.